Welcome to the Morning Swim Show for Tuesday, January 31st, 2012. I'm your host, Peter Bush, in the Phoenix Monitor today. We'll talk to Tim Powers. He's been the head swim coach at Brigham Young University for 37 years, and he recently announced this would be his last. Tim Powers joins us right now in the Phoenix Monitor from Provo, Utah. Coach, welcome to the Swim Show. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good. Congratulations on announcing your retirement, something we all wish we could do.
It's always a little bit bittersweet, you know. It's something that we've kind of planned for, and at the same time, it's hard to believe that 37 years has gone by so quickly.
Why did you decide that this was the last year?
I think mainly because my wife and I would love to serve a mission for our church, and we want to do it while our health is still good and we still have a lot of energy, and so the timing felt right on this. My wife retired a year ago, and she's been anxious for me to join her in retirement.
Now, I know it's something you're supposed to do sometime in your lifetime as a member of the LDS Church, serve a mission. Did you do one in your younger days and this will be your second, or did you not get a chance to do one earlier?
No, I'm a convert, and when I converted to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I was under contract with the United States Army, and so I was shortly headed towards Vietnam, and they had other plans for me at that time, and so this will be the first time that we've had the opportunity to do that.
A different mission you took earlier.
That's correct.
So what, do you get to choose? I know typically the church sends you where they think you should go, but, you know, since you're a little bit older and wiser, do you get to choose?
You know what? I'm willing to go wherever I'm needed. I think that's when we want to serve, we want to be able to say, where do you need me the most? And that's what I'm planning on.
Well, that's an exciting plan for retirement, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the first time I've heard a coach retire so he could go on a church mission.
Well, good. Maybe there'll be others.
First here on the Morning Swim Show. Well, tell us about looking back at your long career at BYU.
Well, my long career seems kind of short. It seems like I just got here yesterday. And, you know, this is something my parents, when they were alive, warned me about. They said, you know, this life of ours goes by pretty quickly, and so you want to make the most of every opportunity and every moment that you have. And I can echo that sentiment now, because 37 years goes by pretty quickly. I'm sure your father, when he retired at Arizona, felt pretty much the same way.
He did. And, you know, just like you, I think he's been happy to find a second challenge in, you know, in his later years.
Yeah.
So, you know, 37 years, as we mentioned. Tell us how you started there. I mean, how did you find BYU? How did you even get into coaching?
I was coaching down in California at Los Gatos High School, and I used to coach West Valley aquatic teams. And back at that time, we had about 600 swimmers, and we were doing quite well. We had, I think we had 29 kids at nationals the year I left. And the high school had done well, and one of my swimmers, Piero Ferracuti, had swum in the Olympics in '72, and so he was looking for a home, and he had looked at Tennessee, he looked at Stanford, he looked at Yale. Yale had a real strong program at that time as well, and so I had just been up to BYU. My wife's brother was graduating from law school here. I hadn't really been on the campus. They had offered me a scholarship actually when I was in high school, but I wasn't a member of the Mormon church at that time, and I thought, oh, the Mormons just try to convert me. And so I ended up taking a scholarship at the University of Montana. I joined the church there, and so I'd been on the campus really for the first time at my brother-in-law's graduation, and I thought, wow, this is a beautiful, fantastic setting. It's a beautiful place. Had a great student body. And so I suggested to the swimmer I had, Piero Ferracuti, that you might want to take a look at BYU. And when we called up to try to make an arrangement for them to fly him in, he was an excellent swimmer, obviously, and they were interested in him. They said, well, Mike Burton had just stepped down as head coach. And I said, who's the new coach? And they said, they're in the process of looking for a new coach at this time. I think I'll just throw my hat into that ring, and I did, and went through the interview processes and everything, and that was the start of my association with BYU now. That's been 37 years long, and been such a great and fantastic experience for me.
Well, that's quite the experience. Yeah, that's quite the story.
Yeah.
You've had
so it's just being in the right place right time was part of that. There was a lot of candidates for that job at the time because it is a great place to work, and so I was fortuitous enough to get the position, and then I've been able to hang on to it for 37 years.
And throughout the years, you had some success, especially with international swimmers coming through, and they went on to make the Olympic teams for their own countries. Was that something you felt like you had to do, was recruit internationally, just because BYU wasn't kind of a national power, and outside of members of the LDS Church, there's not a ton of kids there?
Yeah, well, BYU actually is an international kind of campus. We've got all 50 states in the union represented here. We've got 33,000 students here, and we have every state in the union represented. We have over 110, usually it varies between 110 and 120 different countries that are represented here on our campus. And so one of the mottos at BYU is "The world is our campus," and another one is "Enter to learn and go forth to serve." And so we send young men and young women from this campus all over the world, really. Of course, the missionary efforts for the Mormon Church are legendary. We've got anywhere between 50 and 60,000 missionaries out there at any given time. 77% of this student body speaks a foreign language fluently. And so this is a natural spot for kids that come from other countries. We've had, about 16 different countries represented here. But the bulk of our kids usually come from the U.S. We usually only have 3 or 4 kids maybe at any given time that are from a foreign country.
What are the plans for the final month and a half of the season for you? When's the last home dual meet? And
the plans this weekend. The last dual meet is this Friday night against University of Utah. It's always been a great rivalry. I think last year on the guys' side, it came down to the final yard to determine the meet, and we managed to pull that off up at their place, and I'm sure they haven't forgotten that. Our women's team won theirs, but it was really down to about the last 2 events before that was not in question anymore. And it's always been a great rivalry. We have a great respect for the program there and how they rise to the occasions. And we're expecting, we usually we'll get anywhere between 1,000 and 1,200 out for our swim meets. We'll probably have 1,500 or 1,800 that'll be hanging from the rafters Friday night. That's what makes college swimming so great, these great rivalries. And so we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to this year, with the football going independent. We went into the Mountain Pacific Sports Federation as far as our men and women's teams go. And so we've got a new list of teams to swim against. We'll be out in California for the conference championships on the 15th, 16th, 17th of February. So we're looking forward to that, and then on to the NC2A championships. We hope we get kids qualified for that, and we typically do. And so we're looking forward to getting our men and women qualified for the national championships, and that'll take me up right to the end of my career, because when that's over, we'll have a new coach in place. The search and interviewing, everything's going on as we speak, and BYU is committed to a great swim program here. They want it to be the best they can be, and they're doing their due diligence right now to make sure that happens.
Have you had any input on who the next coach might be?
Yeah, I've had a chance to write letters of reference and support the people who are on our staff currently, as well as give some ideas about some other possibilities as well. I do have 37 years invested here, and so it's not like I'm not disinterested, but I'm not allowed to crown my successor. So that's a process that our administration goes through.
Well, if there's one thing you could that you'd like to see your successor continue to build on, or one area where the program they could take it to the next level, what would it be?
Well, I think one of the things that we feel is most important right now is our facilities aging. We have actually a plan. We've spent a good deal of money for the drawings and everything for a new facility. We're looking at that as the economy starts to turn around. They've got several academic building projects going on campus right now that they've started now, and we've been on a list behind some of those academic ones. And so in the future, at some point, hopefully the near future, BYU will unveil a new swimming facility that'll be as good as anything in the country.
Well, Coach, congratulations on your retirement. We wish you the best of luck on your mission, and whenever that last meet is, make sure to take your cell phone out of your pocket because there's a chance you're going swimming at the end.
Okay, thanks. Good talking with you.
Thanks, Coach. That's Tim Powers joining us from BYU, and that is it for today's show. I'm Peter Bush, reminding you to keep your head down at the finish.